right, it is January 5th and it is 6 p.m. and I'm calling the meeting to order. With Clerk Milner absent, I'm asking Treasurer Zuzik to please take attendance.
It is my pleasure. We're going to start with Clerk Milner, and she is absent. Bruns.
Present.
Tate.
Here.
Dressley.
Here.
Zuzik here. Michael Mulder is absent. And Biermeyer.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, if I could please ask everyone who's able to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remove your headwear. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, now I would like to motion to approve the agenda, please.
Motion to approve the agenda. Zuzik.
Bruns will second.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to approve the agenda. All right, first up on our list, we have our election of officers to the school board for the year of 2026. And I normally don't have to follow a script, but on this one I do because it's unique. So the board will now elect officers to serve a one-year term pursuant to Minnesota Statute 123B.14. As a reminder, any member of the board may nominate another member. Nominations do not require a second. And after asking for additional nominations 3 times, I will close nominations. I will now accept nominations for the office of chair.
I nominate Carrie Tate as chair.
Biermeyer seconds.
Oh, you don't have to second. We're all good. I know, it's weird. That's why we're following a script. All good. All right. Director Tate has been nominated. Are there other nominations for the office of chair?
Zuzik nominates himself, Zuzik, for chair for the 3rd year in a row.
Okay,
Keeping the run.
thank you. Director Zuzik has been nominated. Are there any other nominations for the office of chair? Are there any other nominations for the office of chair? Are there any other nominations for the office of chair? I know I'm repeating myself, I have to. If there are no further nominations, nominations for the office of chair are closed. In order to secure an office, the candidate must receive a majority of the votes cast. So, how do we do this? All those in favor, all those in favor of Director Tate for the office of chair, please raise your hand. All those in favor of Director Zuzik for the office of chair, please raise your hand. All right, receiving the majority of votes cast, let the minutes show that Director Tate has been elected to the office of chair.
Congratulations.
Thank you all. All right, now I will accept nominations for the office of vice chair.
I'll nominate Jessica Dressley for vice chair.
Thank you. Are there other nominations for the office of vice chair? Are there other nominations for the office of vice chair? Are there other nominations for the office of vice chair? If there are no further nominations, nominations for the office of vice chair are closed. And as Director Dressley is the only candidate nominated for the office of vice chair, can I show of hands for those in support? All right, let the minutes show that Director Dressley has been elected to the office of vice chair. Congratulations. All right, I will now accept nominations for the office of clerk.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Can we nominate Melissa when she's not here?
Yes, she was asked if she's willing, so everyone knows she was asked if she's willing to do this before we just do this without her being present.
Okay, well, I nominate Melissa Milner for the office of clerk.
Thank you. Are there other nominations for the office of clerk? Are there other nominations for the office of clerk? All right, if there are no further nominations, nominations for the office of clerk are closed. And let the minutes show, Director Milner is the only candidate nominated for the office of clerk. Can I see a show of hands for those in support? All right, let the minutes show that Director Milner has been elected to the office of clerk. Congratulations, Melissa.
Yep.
All right, and I will now accept nominations for the office of treasurer.
I would like to nominate Mark Zuzik as office of treasurer.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations for the office of treasurer? Any other nominations for the office of treasurer? If there are no further nominations, nominations for the office of treasurer are closed. And Director Zuzik is the only candidate nominated for the office of treasurer. With that, can I see a show of hands for those in support? Great. Let the minutes show that Director Zuzik has been elected to the office of treasurer. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, I want to recognize, we have no visitors in the room, but I want to recognize anyone who's watching online or who may watch this online in the future. We appreciate your support of Hastings Public Schools. Next up, we have our consent agenda, which includes minutes from the past 4 meetings. Could I get motion on this?
I make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
All right, could I get a second, please?
Zuzik, seconds.
Great, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to approve the consent agenda. Next up, we have our items for individual action. First up is the 2026 school board calendar with all of our meeting dates. Could I please get a motion on this item?
Bruns will make a motion to establish the regular board meeting dates.
Thank you. Can I get a second, please?
Beermeyer seconds.
All right, any discussion? I do just want to point out a couple of things. If you look at the calendar, typically we follow a second and fourth Wednesday cadence, and you will see that we do have some exceptions this year. Mainly, I believe it's June and July are the 2 biggest exceptions, and then November, December, the dates are moved up to first and third Wednesdays, just because of the holidays. So I just want to point that out for folks. With that, could I get, all those in favor of approving the 2026 board calendar, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to approve the 2026 calendar. Next up, we have the official publication. We have to designate an official publication for our meeting minutes, and I'm looking for a motion on this item.
Motion to designate the Hastings Journal as the official district publication. Zuzik.
Could I get a second, please?
Second, Dressley.
Hey, any discussion? All right, you got your finger on the trigger, no? Okay, all those in favor of approving the Hastings Journal as the designated official publication, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. All right, motion passes 4-1 to approve the Hastings Journal as the official publication. Next up, we have a 2027 combined polling places resolution. And this basically establishes that we will use the same 5 polling locations that were used this year for next year if anytime we're in an off-cycle year, I'll put it that way. Could I get a motion on this item, please?
I make the motion to establish the 2027 combined polling places and waive the reading of the resolution.
Thank you. Could I get a second, please?
Beermeyer seconds.
All right, any discussion? All right, seeing none, Treasurer Zuzik, could you please take a roll call vote on this resolution?
Absolutely. Beermeyer.
Aye.
Michael Milder is absent. Zuzik, aye. Dressley,
Aye.
Tate,
Aye.
Bruns,
Aye.
and Milner is absent.
All right, thank you very much. All right, next I am looking for a motion on the next item, which is authorizing the superintendent or designee to perform the routine functions and responsibilities of the clerk and treasurer per policy 202.
I make the motion to authorize the superintendent to perform the routine functions and responsibilities of clerk and treasurer.
Can I get a second, please?
Bruns will second.
All right. Any discussion?
Do I need to add or designee in there or no? Are we good? I didn't say that in the motion.
You can. You like amend your motion?
I'm amending my motion to include or designee after superintendent.
Do you accept the friendly amendment?
I accept the amendment.
All right. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to authorize the superintendent or designee to perform the routine functions and responsibilities of the clerk and treasurer. All right, next up, we are establishing the 2026 board member compensation and benefit participation. Currently, the board chair receives $4,750 per year, and each of the other board directors receive $4,250 per year. Looking for a motion on this item, please.
Zuzik makes a motion to set the board director stipend at $4,250 and the board chair at $4,750. And I want to note that that is the same as what it was 3 years ago.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Can I get a second, please?
Bruns will second.
All right, any discussion? All right, all those in favor of the compensation as discussed, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to pay board directors $4,250 per year and the chair $4,750 per year. We probably should. All right. So looking for a motion on benefits participation.
The members of the board do not participate in benefits available to other employees. That would be my motion.
Okay. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Dressley.
All right, any discussion? All right, all those in favor of not allowing board members to participate in benefits, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to not allow board members to participate in district benefits. All right, next I am looking for a motion regarding official district depositories.
I would, this is Zuzik, I would make a recommendation to have it be the same as it was last year. Merchant Bank takes care of our general receipts. Vermilion State Bank of Hastings does our activity accounts. The Minnesota School District Liquidation Fund and PFM Asset Management help us to manage payroll and finance accounts, not to manage, but to be the depository for our payroll and finance accounts. And also our Section 125 flex accounts. The State Board of Investment helps us as a depository for OPEB, para plan, and US Bank is QSCB escrow account. And I would make the motion to retain those same vendors to do the same thing going into the 2026 year.
Thank you for that lengthy motion. Could I get a second, please?
Second, Dressley.
All right, any discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to have the official district depositories as were stated in the motion. I am not going to repeat. All right, next up we have electronic fund transfers. Could I please get a motion on this item?
Bruns will make the motion, delegate the superintendent, director of finance and operations, finance supervisor, and payroll benefits supervisor to make electronic fund transfers.
Thank you. Could I get a second, please?
Biermeyer seconds.
All right, any discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to delegate the electronic fund transfers as were stated in the motion. All right, next up, we have employee recognition dollar amounts for the 25-26 school year. Could I please get a motion on this item?
Motion to approve the employee recognition dollar amount for the 25-26 school year.
Thank you. As stated in the board book, I assume.
As stated above in
you.
board book.
Okay, just want to be clear. Can I get a second, please?
Biermeyer seconds.
All right, any discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to establish the employee recognition dollar amounts for the 25-26 school year as designated in board book. All right, next up, we have capitalization asset thresholds and fixed asset inventory report approvals. Could I please get a motion, please?
Zuzik makes a motion, as per policy 704, to have our individual threshold designated at $10,000 and group threshold designated at $50,000. For our listeners, that means that if the same item is purchased in a lot of, say, 25 or 30 items, and the dollar amount reaches 50, then we track it as an official asset. That's what that means. And the annual fixed asset report is attached for viewers to review in board book.
Could I get a second, please?
Second, Dressley.
All right, any discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to approve the individual threshold at 10,000, group threshold at 50,000, and approving the annual fixed asset report. All right, next up, we are looking for an authority to sign contracts and enter into agreements. Could I please get a motion on this item?
A motion to delegate the authority to the superintendent and director of finance and operations to sign contracts and enter into agreements.
Zuzik seconds.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to delegate the superintendent and director of finance and operations to sign contracts and agreements. All right, next up, we are looking at joint powers purchasing agreements. Could I please get a motion on this item?
Motion to authorize the delegation of authority to the superintendent and the director of finance and operations to enter into joint purchasing agreements, joint powers purchasing agreements.
Could I get a second, please?
Biermeyer seconds.
Any discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to approve the delegation of authority to the superintendent and director of finance and operations to enter into joint powers purchasing agreements. All right, now we are looking at the designation of identified officials with authority, also known as Iowa. Could I please get a motion on this item?
Motion to approve the superintendent to act as an identified official with authority and the director of finance and operations to act as the Iowa by proxy for Hastings Public Schools.
Thank you. Could I please get a second?
Biermeyer seconds.
All right, any discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to have the superintendent act as the Iowa and the director of finance and operations to act as the Iowa by proxy for Hastings Public Schools. Next up, we have legal counsel. Could I please get a motion on this item?
Motion to approve the following law offices to act as legal counsel for Hastings Public Schools: Kennedy Gravin, PA, and Ratwick, Rozak, and Maloney, PA.
Thank you. Excuse me, could I please get a second?
Second, Dressley.
All right, any discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving Kennedy and Graven and Ratwick, Rozak, and Maloney, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to approve Kennedy and Graven and Ratwick, Rozak, and Maloney as the district legal counsel. All right, district auditor. Could I please get a motion on this item?
I have a motion to approve LB Carlson as the district auditors for Hastings Public School District.
Could I get a second, please?
Second, Dressley.
All right, any discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving LB Carlson as the district auditor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to approve district auditor as LB Carlson. Next, we have facsimile signatures. Could I please get a motion on this item?
Motion to approve the use of facsimile signatures from the board chair, the board treasurer, and the board clerk on school district checks.
Thank you. Could I please get a second?
Biermeyer seconds.
Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously to approve, to use facsimile signatures for the chair, treasurer, and clerk of the school board on the district checks. All right, now we have standing committees. Currently, we have the policy, finance and facilities, joint powers, student school board representative, and community collaboration. So I know we had a discussion on this at the work session, and I have my notes somewhere. But looking for who is interested in being in the policy, on the policy committee this year, 2026. Raise of- We could, that'd be fantastic. Do we have that available easily? Okay. Well, I think we can start at least with one. Policy committee interest, I think it's the same three of us, yes. And we did check with Directors Milner and Michael Mulder to see if they were interested in changing anything up, and they were not interested in the policy committee. So we will do policy committee, will be the three of us sitting here, Director Zuzik, Director Dressley, and myself. All right, next up, we have finance and facilities. In the past, this past year, we had it also combined with joint powers because we had the same three people interested in being a part of those committees. And per the discussion at the work session, we decided to split those up. So this is how we're looking at it this year. So finance and facilities will still be together. Could I see a raise of hands for who's interested in facilities and finance? So it was the two of us, plus Director Milner was the third. Okay. Then we have the Joint Powers Committee. Here we go. Could I see a show of hands for interest in being on the Joint Powers Committee? All right, and then plus Clerk Milner. Okay. Then we have our Student School Board Representative Committee. Could I see a show of hands of who's interested in being on that committee? All right, it was you two plus Clerk Milner again. She said she wanted on that one. And then we have the Community Collaboration Committee. Could I see a show of hands of who is interested in that being on that one? You two, and then it was also Director Michael Mulder, who again is absent tonight. All right. Then we have our standing liaison positions. First up, we have ISD 917, and that is actually a 3-year term. So Director Zuzik will be, I think this is your third year of being in that position, so that doesn't change. The Relicensure Committee representative, just as a reminder, Director Biermeyer is the Relicensure Committee liaison. That is a school year appointment. So that actually started in September and goes through August, I guess, technically. Then we have the Minnesota State High School League representative. Director Michael Mulder had said that she was interested in doing that. Is anyone else interested in doing that one? Okay. Then we have our AMSD liaison. In the past, it's been Director Bruns, and due to, I think, commitments, you're wanting to pass the torch. Who is interested in taking up that responsibility?
I'm on that. I'm on that for 917, so it's real convenient for me.
Fantastic. All right. Anyone else interested? Okay, sounds good. And then can we get a backup on that one? If anyone, is anyone interested in being a back? All right. It was a little tentative, but all right. So Jessica is backup. All right. And then we have the Brightworks liaison if the appointment is open. And I think Director Bruns, you had expressed interest before. You still want to do that?
Yeah, I'm typically there anyway. So
Okay.
it makes total sense to be a part of that.
Fantastic. All right, do we need a backup for that? We don't need a backup for that one. Nope, we're good there. Okay. And then the NAPAC liaison is the final one that we have on this list. And Director Bruns, you're going to continue in that role as well. All right, fantastic. I should ask, anyone else interested? Okay, and then we should have a backup as well for that one. You want to be a backup? Okay, Director Biermeyer will be a backup. Fantastic. All right, so with that, does anyone else want to make a motion on this? Or you want me to read my notes? I can do it. Okay. I move to have Directors Zuzik, Dressley, and Tate on the Policy Committee. Directors Bruns, Milner, and Dressley on the Student School Board Representative Committee. Directors Zuzik, Milner, and Tate on the Facilities and Finance Committee. Directors Michael Mulder, Bruns, and Biermeyer on the Community Collaboration Committee. Directors Biermeyer, Milner, and Tate on the Joint Powers Committee. Director Zuzik as the AMSD representative with Director Dressley as the backup. Director Bruns as the Brightworks representative. Director Zuzik as the 917 representative. Director Michael Mulder as the Minnesota State High School League representative. And Director Bruns as the NAPAC representative with Director Biermeyer as the backup. Got it all. That's a lengthy motion too.
Second, Dressley.
All right, any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. All right, motion passes unanimously to approve the standing committees and liaison positions as stated. All right, now we can discuss additional committees and liaison positions. We had discussed a couple things at our work session. We had talked about having a meet and confer liaison and a wellness committee liaison. That was it, right? I think that was it. Okay.
Can I ask
Thank
a
you.
clarifying question?
Yeah.
The Wellness Committee liaison, how often does the Wellness Committee just meet the once a year? Or twice a year, or once a quarter?
What's
It's
that?
quarterly?
It's for, in statute, this, if they're using wellness the same as safety, it's usually 4 times a year.
Okay, quarterly?
And how about meet and confer?
Whenever, my experience has been whenever teachers have called to have a meet and confer meeting. We
Okay.
didn't have, did Kathy, have they had them standardized here? Did they have them standard here?
I'm pretty sure we have language, I just can't remember right now, but
Okay.
I believe we do.
Okay, so that responsibility is three to four, approximately 3 to 4 times a year, and the wellness committee is roughly quarterly as well. So, all right. Who is interested in being in, or on the meet and confer, being a meet and confer liaison?
I would have an interest in being on meet and confer, or at least be the backup for that.
Okay. Any other interest? Okay, I'd be willing to be the backup, if you want to take that
Thank you.
one. Okay. Okay, and then for the wellness committee liaison. Did,
Wasn't
I
here.
think that she
Yeah, I
did.
thought
I
Melissa
thought-
said so too.
I thought Director
She
Milner,
said that was
okay,
Melissa.
Director Milner said that would be appropriate, right? So are we all remembering this correctly
Yeah,
before
I
we
do
stick
remember
around a
that.
committee?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're putting Melissa Milner, Director Milner for wellness. Is anyone interested in being the backup for that one?
I'll be the backup for that one.
Director Dressley was the backup. Okay, any other interest? All right, with that, I'll move to have Director Zuzik be the meet and confer liaison with Director Tate as the backup, and Director Milner on the wellness committee, and Director Dressley as the backup.
I second that nomination.
All right, any discussion? I should make sure, no other committee liaisons or committee positions we think we need to establish right now? Just want to make sure. Okay, okay, we're good. All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to have Zuzik and Tate on the meet and confer, Tate as a backup, Milner on the wellness with Dressley as the backup. All right, fantastic.
Each individually, liaisons,
What was that? Sorry.
liaisons, motions.
Oh, oh yeah, you did. Sorry. Okay. So
So,
now what?
So I motion to approve Director Zuzik as the liaison to ISD 917.
Okay, sorry, we already voted. So I'm just,
Okay.
what do we do? I don't know how to undo. We can amend the agenda. Yeah, Okay, let's do that instead. Okay, perfect. Sorry. I screwed it up. I'm sorry. Okay, so I move to amend the agenda to remove the individual voting on the liaison positions because we already voted on them in a group.
And I take back my motion.
And you rescind your motion.
Yep, I rescind my motion.
Thank you. Sorry about that, folks. All right, could I get a second?
Zuzik seconds.
All right, thank you. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor of amending the agenda to remove those individual votes, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Nay. Motion passes unanimously to remove those individual votes. All right, next up, we had the committee, items for discussion. Committee membership discussion, liaison discussion. We already discussed all this, so I think we're good. I think we're covered on that as well.
I make a motion to amend the agenda, striking Roman numeral 7A and Roman numeral 7B.
Thank you. Okay, Bruns is seconding. All right, any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously to remove the committee membership discussion and liaison discussion. All right, next up, we have our superintendent mid-year evaluation summary. After our December regular meeting, we had a closed session to discuss the mid-year performance of our fantastic superintendent. And the meeting went very well. And I'm not going to read this whole document, but everyone can see she ended up between a 3 and a 4 on every goal that she has. And so the board is very pleased with Dr. Werkamp Herman's transition and leadership. The board appreciates her energy, visibility, collaborative approach, effective communication, and meaningful progress across strategic priorities that position the district for continued excellence. So, thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank all members of the board. It's been a great start.
Yeah.
Very excited to be here.
Yes, we're very excited that you're here and all of the fantastic work that you've done so far. So,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, next up, we have a discussion on the Dave Webb home run leadership discussion. Sorry.
Yeah, so I've reached out to, oh, good, you brought the book. Yeah. So I reached out to Mr. Webb, Dr. Webb, and he would be elated to come and work with us as a board team and walk us through his decision-making process. He can do this in 2 ways, either 2 meetings of 2 hours each or 1 meeting of 4 hours. I would recommend the 2 meetings at 2 hours because it's quite a bit of information and it's nice to be able to, because we're doing this with our leadership team, to have the 2 hours, walk away, take a couple weeks, come back, process, come back, learn some more. He has multiple frameworks that he can walk us through, and I really, very excited to have him come if you all are interested, and we can decide tonight which route you want to go, and then what I could do is get some dates from all of you and him, because we have to figure that out. We could do this after a board meeting, we could do it on a different night, we could do it on a Saturday, whatever people want, but we should probably just throw out a whole bunch of dates and then get with him to see what works in his schedule.
Yeah.
I just want to add to our conversation, and maybe I'll kick it off by saying I left the last meeting that we had really ruminating on a comment that Director Bruns made at the table. And I'm paraphrasing it by saying, this is a good way for us to grow as a group together by learning. And it illustrates to the community and to the staff that we're interested in an objective view of what we're doing. And this process will help that probably more than any other type of training I can think of. It is all about aligning our understanding of the topic and issue at hand, and then it's about understanding ourselves individually and each other individually in the way that we process and make decisions. I think it's brilliant to have them here.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm happy to invite him in. We had talked about doing different evaluations or doing different assessments or doing, different types of retreats, and this was kind of the discussion that we ended up having, and I'm in full support of it. Director Dressing?
Is this in place of our evaluation? I'm sorry. A little bit of hiccup 'cause I was-
Yes, that was what we decided, that this was in place of the
Awesome.
evaluation.
Okay,
So we're
thank
doing a
you.
retreat.
I support.
Okay. Any other discussion? All right. Sounds like we got the green
So
light here.
I'll start reaching out and get some dates from him and you all, and, yeah, perfect.
Sounds good. Thank you for arranging that. All right, next up, we have a discussion on our legislative priorities that we want to set for 2026. So we have in the attached, we have the MASA, what does that stand for? Sorry, Minnesota Association of School Administrators. We have AMSD, which is the Association of Metropolitan School Districts, and we have MSBA, which is the Minnesota School Board Association. So just as examples of what they've set, last year, and so folks are aware what we have going on. We're gonna set our legislative priorities this evening. And then we have invited, Representative DePel is going to be joining us at the January regular meeting to talk through our priorities. He's on the, both the Education Finance and Education Policy Committees at the Capitol, so, and he's gonna hopefully share some insights that he might be feeling, or that he is aware of as well with us. So we'll share our priorities and he'll fill us in a little bit. All right, so who would like to start with what you think our priorities should be? I'm wondering if we should start with our resolutions that we submitted to MSBA.
That's what I have on my list, the resolutions approved by the board. I think it makes sense to have those on there as our legislative platform.
Yep, I agree with that. And just want to make sure, are we going through with all of the ones that this board approved, or, because there was one that we submitted to MSBA that didn't pass, and that was the Q-Comp, repealing of Q-Comp. Do we want to still have that as our legislative priority or not? Of course, I'm all in favor of having it move forward, but
I will say, just one experience I've had over the many years now that I've worked with advocating at the legislature, the more we're aligned to what all the other education groups are coming forward, the more pull we'll have, just to throw that out there. So whatever we decide, we might want to just keep that in our back of our minds.
okay.
Yeah, and less is more. The fewer we have, the bigger impact each of them has.
Okay. All right, so what are thoughts on Q-Comp?
I would recommend that we not keep it as one of our legislative agenda items going into it, because I don't want to ask our local legislators to advocate for something that our organizations aren't advocating for.
Okay. My concern with Q-Comp in general is that it was very firmly on the governor's radar to repeal. It was on his initial package that he presented this year in 2025, I should say now. And so my argument at the delegate assembly was, if we try to push something happening with this now, at least we're the ones who are advocating for what happens to those dollars. Whereas if they just get stripped away from the governor's package, then they just go away. So that's my fear. But I can go either way on this one. Anybody else? Thoughts? Director Nestle?
I could take it or leave it, really, just
Okay.
because of the fact that if they do continue to, or if they open up the waiting list, we are on the waiting list.
I know.
So, I don't know.
Yes. Okay, I'm fine. Yeah, my other argument was that it has been on the list for MSBA to advocate for opening it up to more school districts for 11 years,
2005.
since 2014.
Oh.
2014. So, I'm fine with leaving that one alone, though. So, all right. We won't have that one. Do you want to quickly just go through the resolutions that we did submit that we're saying we want to advocate for?
Okay, so authorize candidates to omit addresses from campaign materials and use non-residential addresses under Minnesota statute section 211B.04 and require redaction of home addresses from campaign finance filing postings online by campaign finance and public disclosure board under Minnesota statutes, section 10A. and Minnesota statute section 13.067 to protect candidate safety. And the next resolution is to, let me just scroll down here. Ensure school districts have adequate time to plan and prepare for the financial and operational impact of new laws and regulations. Next.
And that one is on several of these
Yes,
platforms
yes, it
already.
is.
Thank
Yep.
you.
The next one is allocation of targeted funds to fully implement Minnesota statute section 127A.70 Minnesota P20 Education Partnership subdivision 2A.
Thank you.
Next resolution was to,
Pardon me, just for the listener, that was career technical ed, right? Okay. Just to fund,
yep,
yeah.
Actually, it wasn't even to fund it. It was to actually do what they've already established in statute that they're going to do.
The study, and then that we're asking the state to be a leader on this.
the state had already implemented their vision of what the framework should look like for career and technical education. And over the past, I think it's 3 years, this is the P20 Education Partnership has been funded by outside donors and has not been funded by state funds. So what we were asking for is the state to allocate targeted funds to that so that we can actually see some movement on what their vision was for career and technical education in our state.
Yep.
And then the last one is to exempt school districts from the earn sick and safe time mandate, the Minnesota, I'm not gonna read the statute number. If they provide leave benefits such as Family and Medical Leave Act, Paid Family Medical Leave Act, sick leave, discretionary leave, or bereavement leave that meet or exceed ESST requirements to reduce redundant costs and support districts' ability to prioritize student learning. And those are the resolutions that we passed at the board table and that also passed at the delegate assembly.
Okay, so any thoughts on those so far, or wording or anything like that?
So I would say that we shorten it up a little bit to repeal or, so some of them are quite wordy and it's gonna lose the, I don't know, I got it narrowed down to reduce mandates and restore local control, repeal and fully fund summer term unemployment insurance and paid leave, and strengthen PSEO programs and ensure financial stability, academic rigor, and student support and preparation for students after high school. So those were my top ones that I thought were really.
My only question is, you said that last one, strengthen PSEO.
Strengthen career technical ed.
Career technical ed is what I meant. I didn't mean PSEO.
Yes, perfect. Okay, thank you.
Yes,
And
there is
then-
PSEO in these.
Yeah.
And I would offer that the MSBA document on the legislative agenda, I know it's a little longer, but this really well articulates the timely implementation of fiscal mandates.
Yep.
And that if they
Yes.
miss a March 1 deadline, that's on them. And they would have to wait a year to implement it.
I like that too.
Yep, okay, so we'll use the
That
verbiage on
carries that, yeah.
MSBA.
Yeah,
That works for everybody?
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, so we'll use MSBA's language, and then yours for your summary, or I'll say your shorter version of the fully fund or repeal.
Yep, repeal or fully fund summer term unemployment insurance and paid leave, and then reduce mandates and restore local control. And these were all ones that were aligned on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another one that was aligned on AMSD and on the MSBA one was to repeal the contingent $250 million cut to
Yep.
special ed cross-subsidy reduction aid scheduled for the 28-29 biennium. Because frankly, the task that they asked us to do is knowingly impossible.
Right.
Understanding state and federal laws and regulations, and then the dollars that it takes to do that. What they're asking us to do is an impossible task. I think every knowing person that's aware of that situation has little faith that the task force will be able to come up with a dollar amount to reduce by that much.
And then let's be clear, that comes out of the funding then for.
Right. So-
For special education, correct? Yep.
Which we're mandated to provide.
Yep.
Yeah,
Which
which
we're
we,
mandated
yep, yep,
I'm fully on board with supporting that as well.
okay.
And that phrasing came from AMSD.
Oh, I had it on the MSBA.
Yeah.
Is it the same? I just want to make sure we get it from the right spot. Okay, so. Repeal. Yeah, it's shorter on AMSDs.
Yeah. Note that it's the first one
It is.
on, thank you.
Okay, AMSD's version of that. Okay.
You know, when we lobby, they're going to tell us, well, this is not a funding biennium, but it's also not a cutting biennium. I mean, we have a budget that we're working with because you set a law saying how much it was going to increase. And so we're making decisions based on that. I get that this isn't a funding biennium, but it's also not a cutting biennium.
Yeah. Well, I think my hope, along with most Minnesotans, is that they figure out what's going on with the fraud and actually can find some money to fund school districts and other things a little bit better.
One thing I
perhaps.
want to put on the radar for folks that isn't included in this work here and isn't a part of anything that we submitted, but the current working group led by our state senator, Judy Seeberger, around seclusion and its use in schools. I don't know how we phrase it, but advocating to at least maintain current statute and requirements around the seclusion, the use of seclusion in public education. There are two camps. One is being led by MDE in some regard to end the practice of seclusion completely. And it is not a practice that districts love to use, and it is often our sixth option as we develop student response plans and how to develop their skills and what is going to be predictable and beneficial to their development. But however we can advocate to not eliminating the use of seclusion in public education, it's a tool in the toolbox that is rarely used. It's discussed highly before it's something that is done. And the perception around it, I want to make sure is really clear. Students aren't put in a room, the door's locked and people walk away. Statute around that is very clear. The rooms are a certain size and scope, certain ventilation, lighting. You have to be able to see the student at all times. They're magnetically locked, so you actually have to hold the lock for the duration of that seclusion and be able to look in the window. I don't think it's included anywhere because it's going to come out of this working group's recommendation in time. I know that Executive Director of Student Services for 916, Dave Haveman, is on as part of that working group as well, and they've toured different facilities in the Northeast Metro, and we do walk them through all the stages of things that we do to make sure it really truly is the last resort and focusing on their tier 1 and other supports before we get there. So I don't know how we write that down so we can be a voice in the room that says, I really don't think we should remove this tool. It is not widely used. It's strictly monitored. There's statute that's really tight around it, and there's a lot of data collected around it every time it's used. So I'm not sure what the next step is.
The
on that.
AMSD refers to it as, it's on their document, and they describe it as permit limited removal time with non-exclusionary discipline to support effective reentry planning and maintain classrooms. Okay. Okay, that's probably true then about what it says on reevaluate non-exclusionary discipline. So thank you. Yeah. Because that's also on MSBA's, but yeah, how would that be articulated?
Maintain current statute and requirements around the use of registered lock seclusion spaces in public schools. Just no changes at this point. However, I think that might be the language.
I guess my question is, do we do that here in Hastings? Is this
No,
something that applies to us, or it's
We don't have a
917?
room. we don't have a room like that here, but 917 would use it.
917 would
For
use
sure.
it. Is that something that you maybe want to advocate for 917 to be an advocate for? Do you guys develop a legislative platform? Maybe I should
Yeah,
ask
we
that
do.
first.
We do. Yeah.
Is
I,
it-
I bet that they are, and I bet that 916 is too. I just, to Matt's point, how would our legislators become aware of it and know that we would ask them to back it? So that would be that's the power that we would get by mentioning it to Judy Seeberger and Tom DePel and, so.
Do you know what statute you're referencing by chance?
The question was what statute was being referenced? for
Yep,
folks that want it.
125A.0942.
Thank you. So to maintain the standards for restrictive procedures.
Correct. It's already banned from use in grades 3 and lower. And so the thought is that it'll either be removed completely or advance upgrades.
And you're saying to maintain the standards for restrictive procedures instead of eliminate them, correct?
Correct. And if the pathway was to eliminate, then the next question is allocation of dollars for training for the alternative. Like what's the tool that replaces that safely and meets the student need and staff need?
I think for that, we'd focus on the maintaining then, because if we give them options, they're not gonna be the option that you want. So you have to come with the option, or, so I would just keep it with that maintaining.
So I'm wondering, I had starred on here the one that Director Zuzek had read as well as something that I could support. Do we want to combine those two things regarding discipline into the same priority perhaps? Are folks,
Connected with a conjunction and
right, so support this and also look at maintain status on this piece and look at allowing a 3-day K through 3 dismissals.
I like that, because we gotta deal with that too.
Yep. Okay, so we'll combine those two. All right, and I guess I'm looking for the verbiage that we want to use.
So maintain the standards for restrictive procedures outlined in Minnesota Statute 120A.0942.
You're not on your mic, can you, please? Sorry.
So to maintain the standards for restrictive procedures outlined in Minnesota Statute Section 129A.0942.
125.
125A.
And,
And we would have a choice of these two sets of language from AMSD and MSBA. AMSD says, permit limited removal time within non-exclusionary discipline to support effective reentry planning and maintain safe classrooms. MSBA says, reevaluate non-exclusionary discipline strategies, recognizing one statewide approach does not effectively meet the safety of all students. I like AMSD's.
MSDs.
The one that was more specific?
Yeah.
Yes, because that other one was giving them the option to come up with what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
if we want that.
I like AMSD's, and it's under enhanced school safety.
Yep, okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, other things that caught my eye that I could get behind. There was one in here associated with the new paid leave program. Provide funding for employer premiums and substitute staff costs associated with the paid leave program or exempt school districts. That's on AMSD's. I guess it just says paid leave, it doesn't say the new
Good, that should encompass
the new
the
one
law.
necessarily, but it would encompass any paid leave program, I assume. I don't know if that's what their platform is including or not. I don't know what thoughts are about that one. It's under reduce mandates and restore local control, the fourth bullet point down. Mark gets a thumbs up here.
Yeah.
Good, that one. Okay. That one. Another one that I noted was repeal requirements that school boards negotiate e-learning days, student testing, and student to staff ratios. That was a new thing that was, what, 2 years ago? Last year? I can't remember now. That was newly introduced.
Just a question, do we negotiate e-learning days?
It's in statute.
So we are negotiating those in the current contract?
We haven't,
Okay.
because it doesn't go along lines with the contract. It's just when you first established those e-learning days, it was established that you would have them.
Okay,
That's the negotiation piece to it.
okay, I get,
And, because then it's required by law, you can't go
Yep.
more than 5 and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Mhm. Okay. Any thoughts on that one? What do you think?
I'm okay with
Good on that one?
Yeah.
Too, okay. We're gonna have a long list now, but, already got that one covered. Another one that caught my eye, allows on, MSBA's under stable and predictable funding. Third bullet point down, allow school boards by board resolution to transfer balance surpluses of non-federal funds between district operating accounts to meet financial needs without the need for additional aid or levy authority. So to give us a little bit more financial flexibility.
that.
Thoughts on that one? Seems head nodding. Okay. That was all I had, other than what has already been discussed. Any other thoughts? Dr. Zuzek?
Ms. Humble, were you keeping careful enough count to know how many we have? Is that 9? Eight?
8?
because we combined two of them, right?
Oh,
Is that-
thank you.
And last year we had 10, so.
Yeah.
Good with that list of 8?
Yeah.
All right. And Lindy, do you want to put that together, or do you want me to?
He is correct.
9, okay.
There is 9.
Either way, we're less than 10. That's good, all right. Do you want to put it?
Last year, it was a funding biennium, and we separated into funding priorities and non-revenue priorities.
We did.
Do you see any reason to separate into groups just so that it's more palatable or understandable?
I think so.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and again, it's funding and non-revenue again.
Yeah.
Because
right.
yes, like you said, it's not a funding year, however, they're
not a
looking at
cutting year
making cuts, so,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so we'll divide it into funding and non-revenue priorities again. Lindy, do you want to, did you take good enough notes, or you want me to do it? I did it last year, I can do it again. Okay, I'll do it. All right, I'll put this together and get it out to folks, and we'll discuss it at our regular meeting at the end of the month here. All right, good deal, and we'll vote on it then as well with Representative DePel here. All right, and then we have our future meetings link in here. We have our policy committee meeting on Thursday, the 8th at noon in the district office conference room A. On January 12th, we have the community collaboration event. Hopefully everybody can make it. That is at 6 p.m. in the middle school cafeteria. On January 13th at 7:30 a.m., we have the joint powers meeting with folks from the city. That is being held at Tilden in room 117. And January 28th, we have a 5 PM community collaboration meeting in the district office, conference room A. And what's a regular meeting? Shoot. That's January 28th as well. All right, cool. We have a regular meeting on January 28th at 6 PM right here in the media center. And I don't have any notes on the agenda yet, so. Except for Representative DePel will be here and we'll be talking about legislative priorities. All right, any comments,
handbook.
questions? And the handbook, yes, our school board handbook will be on that agenda. That's one of the things that's on the policy committee's agenda for this week. So, all right, if there's nothing else, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Biermeyer seconds.
Any discussion? All right, all those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously to adjourn at 7:01 PM. Thanks, everybody, and Happy New Year.